name is Chris Mololo. Our sign language interpreter is Philip Omondi, and here are the stories for the week. Persons with disabilities in Lamu County on Thursday intensified their push for full and active involvement in the planning and execution of all county development strategies and social programs. Speaking at an event celebrating the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, local Pwds representatives underscored the crucial need for their voices to be integrated into all social matters that directly affect them. The community also acknowledged the tangible benefits they have received from local community organizations which have provided crucial support, enabling them to sell their products such as coconuts and improve their economic self-reliance. Lamu Governor Issa Timami addressed the gathering and issued a strong appeal to the wider Lamu community to immediately end the stigma and discrimination faced by people with disabilities.
Wakipanga watuhusishe ndani ili tuwasaidie kuweka mikakati yale ambayo inatufaa kama walemavu. Hilo ndio jambo ambalo tumeona, kwa sababu wanatuwaza ndio, lakini wanapanga mambo mengine ambayo sisi kama walemavu hatuoni kama inatufaa. Nothing without us. Tutakubaliana nalo. Hilo tu ndio kitu ambacho tunaomba.
Tukiwekeza theme ya mwaka huu imeweza kutulenga sisi kama walemavu direct, kwa sababu tumeweza kufanyiwa kama a small mini culture walemavu, ambao kila mlemavu amekuja na bidhaa zake aweze kudisplay na pia kuonyesha kwa Lamu County, kwa nchi yetu ya Kenya, na pia kwa ulimwengu wetu kwamba sisi kama walemavu tunaweza kukamilisha kazi zote.
Kuzaa mtoto mlemavu si jambo la aibu. Fikra hizo zimepitikiwa na wakati. Muhimu ni kumtambua kwa ile mtoto ni mlemavu na umpatie nafasi ama opportunities aweze kujiendeleza kimasomo na kimaisha.
Leaders in Garissa County on Thursday issued a strong warning to parents with children with disabilities, urging them to immediately stop hiding them at home and ensure they are integrated into society. Speaking during an event commemorating the International Day of People with Disabilities, County Governor Nadif Jama highlighted the administration's commitment to supporting persons with disabilities. He stated the county has devised various strategies for employing PWDs and is actively providing them with assistive tools to promote self-reliance. To further reinforce the call for inclusion, County Commissioner Ramadan Mwabado encouraged people with disabilities to be proactive, urging them to participate fully in applying for jobs across various government departments to secure contracts and tenders that have been specifically reserved for the disabled community.
Kuwa unaona fedheha au aibu kwa kuweza kuyaweka mbele maumbile ya yeyote ambaye Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ndiye amempa, basi wewe una udhaifu wa imani na kidogo kuna shida katika fikra zako. Kwa hivyo katika familia tunataka kusema kwamba hebu tuwaunge mkono wale wenzetu ambao wana mahitaji maalum.
This is among the few counties, probably the only county which has a dedicated department for persons with disabilities, na hiyo hakika mimi ni furaha kubwa kwangu kwamba niko na chief officer and a whole department that is attending to this very, very important community in our society.
Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndende Nyoro publicly challenged the government's plan to sell a portion of its stake in Safaricom, labeling the move as potentially self-serving and predicting a substantial financial loss for the public. MP Nyoro argued that the planned sale would result in Kenyans losing a significant amount of money because the government intends to sell each share for 35 shillings. This price is well below the current market value of 45 shillings per share.
Collect dividends for the next 5 years. So, in the mind of government, there will be no Kenya in the next 5 years or what? When you take fuel levy to be collected in Kenya for the next 7 years to build roads, are you telling us there will be no roads in Kenya to be built? As I come to the conclusion, I have indicated that Kenya is borrowing 1.25 trillion shillings every year. But even the development that we are seeing, including the expansion of Nairobi-Nakuru Highway, we now have had to force NSSF to invest workers' resources in that road, while the government knows for sure it will never break even. Now that we are selling a stake in Safaricom, why can't the government provide that road for free to all the people in the western side of this country? Must we package it as a commercial project? Now that we have another source of the sale of Safaricom stake, why can't the government invest some of this money into a road, and especially Nairobi Mau Summit Road? Why? That a Kenyan in the western part of this country, from Nakuru all the way, who pays pay, who pays VAT, who pays fuel levy, again is made by government to build their own road. Because paying toll is basically government abdicating its job to provide public goods and telling Kenyans, tumewaletea hawa watu mujisort mujenge nao barabara. That's basically what the government has done in that road. And we are going to keep on talking about this issue, that the people from Nakuru all the way deserve, like any other Kenyan, to use that road for free without tolling. Because we are borrowing every day, we are borrowing both in the book and off the book, we are now selling government stakes, then why again make Kenyans to pay for the road?
The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, KNCHR, announced that it is actively working to implement a recent High Court ruling concerning compensation for victims of protest-related violence. Commission Chairperson Clarice Oganga stated that KNCHR is striving to meet the January 20th deadline set by the court for rectifying the Government Gazette notice related to the compensation mechanism. The ruling effectively transferred a mandate of handling victim compensation from a parallel government task force back to the KNCHR. She made the remarks during the launch of the State of Human Rights Defenders, a collaborative effort with the Frederick Foundation for Freedom.
What we have been lacking is a clarity on the role of compensation. And we are happy that the court has clarified that particular clause and said that the commission has that mandate to compensate. And so for us, it's how do we then ensure that we work directly with the executive, but we also work with victims and Parliament more specifically to ensure that if there's need to amend our act, to be very specific and explicit on that, and that even in terms of developing a reparations framework, then we have the roles clearly clarified within that framework on what the role of the Kenya National Commission is.
Well, that does it for the news roundup for today. Thank you so much for watching. Those are some of the important weekly updates that we had for you in this broadcast. Join me at 7 p.m. during the Science TV Prime News. My name is Chris Mololo. Our sign language interpreter has been Philip Omondi. Goodbye for now.